Excuse me. This is Pastor Jim at PastorJim.com. I'm sorry I'm talking with my mouth full, but I like to only take 3 minutes. I just wanted to tell you, this is the best pizza that I've ever had. It is Domino's. That's not why it's so great. Yesterday, I got home at 9:30, and there was a knock at my door. It was dark, and I couldn't see who was there, and it was a little scary. I could see a pizza box through the window, so I knew what had happened. I went to the door and told this lovely young lady, "I'm sorry, you have the wrong house." She said, "No, I don't." I said, "Yes, you do. I didn't order a pizza." She said, "It's been paid for. Someone bought it for you." I said, "No, you're still mistaken. Somebody must have bought a pizza for someone else." She said, "No, it's from Seattle, Washington." She said the name, but she couldn't read it. And then she handed me this receipt. And you can't see it here, but a dear friend of mine, Dave Hinden, sent it from Seattle, Washington, with the notes that says, "Hi, Jim and Lori, please call me." And we just had not talked to each other in a while, and I guess we kind of got disconnected. And so Dave sent us a pizza to Domino's. He said, "Delivered to the Zidans," and with that note on there. And it was a great encouragement from Dave, but it was a great encouragement from the Lord. So many times we just want to know, God, do you still see me? Do you still have your eye on me? And we know that he does. The Bible says his eye is on the sparrow. And aren't we of much greater value? It's so sweet when he reminds us of these things. The reason I said that this was the best pizza that I ever had, and I won't take another bite, although I want to, is in 2 Samuel chapter 23 and verse 15. The Bible tells us that David was in a battle. He was surrounded by his mighty men, and he remembered a delicious well that he used to drink from as a shepherd near Bethlehem. In fact, in the city of Bethlehem. And he was just reminiscing, man, remember the good old days, and man, I used to be so thirsty and get a drink from that well. He said, man, I'd love to have a drink in the thick of the battle. He said, I'd love to have a drink from that spring. 3 of his mightiest men took off, and they went behind enemy lines into the Philistine territory. And remember, those were giants. And they got a drink of water, and they brought it all the way back to King David, and they set it before him. Now, you can read that story in David, 2 Samuel chapter 23, and I encourage you to do that. But David did a strange thing with it. When he got the water, he poured it out on the ground. And you say, well, that's rude. But his men totally understood what was going on. As you read in the story, David, who was a king that was constantly sending men into battle, understood the blood that could have been shed and the danger that these men were in. He didn't take it lightly. And so his communication to them was, man, this water is just so valuable. It's the most valuable water on the planet right now. It's better than Fiji or Dasani or, Perrier. This was bought with a tremendous price. I can't just drink it. And in the Jewish custom, there was a drink offering. And that was, you would take something of great precious value and you just pour it out on the ground before the Lord. And it was as if you were giving that to the Lord. And David said, this is of such great value that these friends have done this for me, that I can only give this drink to the Lord. So I'm not going to pour Dave's pizza out on the ground, but I am praising the Lord for friends. Another friend wrote me today on PastorJim.com, and she encouraged me, wrote me this beautiful letter, and she said this, Jim, never forget, diamonds are the new friends that you find in life, and gold is the old friends. But don't give up the gold for the diamonds, because in a ring, you need the gold to hold the diamond setting. And so she was just reminding me of the value of friends. And her letter was so important to me, and Dave's pizza was so important to me. Maybe you need to call someone and encourage them today in the Lord. So I've gone a little over the limit. This is Pastor Jim at PastorJim.com. Read 2 Samuel 23, in particular at verse 15. And God bless you. Amen.